Hello, I'm Lori Steiner, sitting in for Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, juggling investments and taxes will make sure you don't drop the ball. Savor our sweet snacks that are super for summer. Then, are your bones ready to break? We'll prescribe a fix for your fragile frame. Plus, we'll get into the swim of things at the Greater Cleveland Aquarium and how to avoid Medicare traps that could cost you a bundle.
It's time to get geoing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. Managing your money can feel like a juggling act. You can get all the balls in the air, but if you give more attention to one, the others will fall. So how do you produce a show-worthy financial finish? Jim Lineweaver, certified financial planner with Lineweaver Financial Group, is always on the ball, and he's here to help us to bring our up-in-the-air investments and taxes down to earth.
There you go.
So welcome.
Great intro.
So Jim, when we're juggling an investment ball and a tax ball, how do we keep them both going and without dropping anything?
It's not easy, okay, because you really have two specialties on your hand. But you could have literally the best returns in the world, and if you lose it all to taxes, what good did it do you? So you really have to be careful about not only the investments you're picking, but where you're putting them, because it could have a huge impact down the road in your retirement.
Okay, so give us some tips to keep our balls aloft.
Okay, well, let's say you have income that's, or you know, say in fixed income or bonds that are producing income investments. And if you're working or if you don't need that income as it gets reinvested, if it's not in a tax-deferred account, what's going to happen is you're going to have to pay taxes on all that. It's not even, it could be even a CD. But if you're not using the income in the given year, then you're paying more taxes than you need to. There's a lost opportunity cost on that, and you can never get that money back. So a lot of times if you have that type of an investment, which can be great in a portfolio because it can buffer it in the bad times, you may want to put that into IRAs or something deferred so it can still reinvest, but you don't have to pay the taxes on it now.
Okay, so is that what you could call a tax efficient type of an investment?
It's just an example of where you put it, but no, if we're talking about the underlying investment that can be tax efficient, then you can look at some things like municipal bonds, say for instance, which would go out and can support the local municipalities or universities and different things. But with that, what's going to happen is sometimes you get federal, state, and local tax-free. So even if it is not in a tax-deferred account, and even if you don't need the income, it's not going to affect the tax situation. Now, if you're collecting Social Security, the tax-free income has to come into play to see if you're taxed on Social Security benefits.
Right,
but otherwise, straight investments, that can be one alternative.
Okay, how about basic stocks?
Yep, stocks can be well also, but you got to remember they can be more risky. But if you get some blue chips in there, they're pretty steady, they can work out well. Because what will happen is you don't pay any taxes as they hopefully, let's say, appreciate in value and not depreciate. But as they go up, there's no tax ramifications until you physically sell them. And under the current tax laws, as long as you hold them more than 12 months, then it's going to come back to you at a capital gain rate. And for a lot of people, that can be half of what their current personal income rate is.
My goodness, so capital gains tax is much better than ordinary income. So when you're deciding on the investments in your portfolio, do you want to make it all based on how it's going to affect your taxes?
Yeah, you don't want taxes first because that could hinder your returns over time. So you still want to lead with the best investments and then look at where you're going to place them to see if you can get some tax efficient that way. And then also, we even have some money managers, and there's other managers out there that actually, even if you want an equity exposure and you didn't have it in a tax deferred account, they will manage it from a tax efficient standpoint. And that's what they do every day. So it can be very efficient. And for those people that are higher income earners, it can really help their returns over time.
Okay, sounds like good tips, as always. So, when it comes to investing and tax efficiency, make sure you don't drop the ball. For juggling help, give Jim a call. His number is next.
For more information, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, a summer seduction of sweet treats to eat. But first, When the Olympic flag flies high, it runs rings around any others. But why were circles selected? And why did the quintet of these colors beat out the competition? We'll finish first with the answers when we return.
They haven't been inducted to a Hall of Fame. They don't get stopped for autographs or photos. They don't have entourages or shoe deals. But they still deserve our applause and admiration because they are fighters, believers, heroes. We are the Metro Health System. We are the proud sponsor of the comeback.
The rings on the Olympic flag represent the 5 major continents, and they're interconnected to embody friendships being formed. Curious about the colors? The dyes for these discs were decided upon because they shared a common color heritage with the flag of every country in the world.
Let's dish. We all have favorite foods for our backyard barbecues or picnics in the park. But at times, even a traditional taste could use a new twist to it. Kate Adams is serving up suggestions for new spins on summer side dishes. Kate is the owner of Spice of Life Caterers and Event Planning. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, we all, coleslaw, potato salad, apple pie,
Right.
everybody likes those.
Right.
So we tend to have the same things because we like them. So you're going to show us how to put something new, jazzy into that kind of
a little fresher,
menu?
if you will. Just change up a few ingredients, and you can have something that is healthier or that appeals to a broader audience.
Okay, well, where do we start on our menu for today?
Let's start with the coleslaw. I confess, I do not like coleslaw. I'm not a fan. But if you switch out a couple ingredients, I can make one that I do like. So here we have a coleslaw made with chopped kale instead of cabbage, with chopped apples instead of carrots, and then an oil-based dressing instead of mayonnaise, and it has honey, Dijon mustard, and poppy seeds in it.
Okay, I've been standing here smelling that. It smells very good.
It's healthier and it's more colorful too.
It really is colorful,
So,
yeah. It seems like it would be nice and light for a summer day.
Absolutely.
So, okay, then a picnic typically won't be perfect unless it's got potato salad. Everybody expects potato salad.
Right.
So you have some new twist on that as well?
I do. I thought grilled potato skins instead of potato salad. Potato skins are going to appeal to a younger crowd. My 2-year-old would eat them, and more picky eaters. And since they're grilled, they can kind of be served as an appetizer and frees up fridge space. So we're going to have a recipe for viewers to make grilled potato skins.
So all you need is potato skins. Those look like fresh ones you've made.
Yeah.
And you grill them on the grill along with your hamburgers or whatever your meat is?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can top it with, we have here bacon, cheddar, scallions, and salsa.
Your typical stuff that you'd put on. Okay, this is more healthy than that.
Well, but this is healthy. So if you make that too, it balances out. Yeah.
All right, good.
That's how I work anyway.
We got to have that balance and everything. How about American barbecue, summertime, apple pie.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about apple pie.
Yeah.
So what do we do instead of apple pie? How can we
You can make apple
change?
pie, but today we made apple pie bars. And I like these because they're easier to serve. People can serve themselves. They can just take one that's already cut, put it on a napkin. You don't need utensils. You don't need
Does
plate.
it look like pie crust? Is it actually pie crust?
It's a shortbread crust.
Okay.
So it's a little different in that way. It's not any easier to make than apple pie. It's still the same amount of work, but it's something
But it makes
different.
it into finger food, especially if
Exactly.
you're at a picnic and everything else is finger food.
Right.
Why have to get out the silverware to serve
Right.
apple pie?
Exactly.
So, all right. So we've got the salad. We've got a side dish. We've got probably hamburgers and hot dogs. Isn't that
Presumably,
the typical thing? We've got apple pie also, or apple bars. How about something to salute and to toast all of this
toast
new
it all.
kind of basic, instead of the basics, this new kind of picnic food?
This is a rather large drink for a toast, but we'll just go with that. We have here sparkling lemonade with mint. Fresh lemonade can be expensive and time-consuming to make, but here I have it watered down with sparkling water. And to negate the watered-down taste, if you will, we added mint and extra lemon, and it's very refreshing. Tastes like a non-alcoholic mojito.
Ooh,
So-
okay. Hey, can I have a drink of that?
Yeah, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We gotta toast something here. So
I'll toast you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Here we go to picnics in summertime.
Absolutely.
is really good.
It's a thirst quencher.
It
Really
is.
is.
It's
Not too-
lemony, and
it's
it
not
doesn't
too
taste
sweet.
watered down at all. And it's got just a little bit of a, bubble to it.
Yep.
So, all right, this has been great. There's still plenty of summer to savor, and with these ideas, you can do it deliciously. We'll have Kate's recipes on our website, or you can let Kate create these for you. Just use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Kate for adding flavor to today's show.
For great food at your next event, call Spice of Life Catering and Event Planning at 330-703-5556 or visit their website, www.spiceoflifecaterers.com. Next, boning up on bone health. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Uncover clues to the history of the Cleveland Police Department Thursday, August 2nd at 7 p.m. at the Independence Library. Board of Trustee member Thomas Matowitz of the Cleveland Police Historical Society will open case files on some of their biggest bookings, as well as salute a few colorful police personalities. To get just the facts, call 216-447-0160 or visit www.cuyahoga-library.org. It'd be a crime to miss this presentation.
It's bad news if you break a bone, but in breaking news, if you're older, a fracture of a fragile bone can have catastrophic consequences. Dr. Megan Brady is here to set us straight on how to beef up our bone health. Dr. Brady is with the Bone Fragility Clinic at Metro Health. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, do we all lose bone during lifetime as we age?
We do. Everyone loses bone as they age, especially women, and that comes with menopause. And so it's a problem because a lot of people will lose bone and not know it. It's a silent disease, osteoporosis, and so it doesn't have markers like chest pain and whatnot with heart disease. And it's a problem because if someone that has poor bone falls, they're at higher risk for breaking a bone, and they're also at higher risk for having a more severe fracture pattern. So at Metro Health, we're actually trying to screen these patients and prevent fractures.
How big of a problem really is it?
It affects about 44 million Americans. 44 million Americans annually are diagnosed with osteoporosis, and 1.5 million Americans actually suffer a fracture because of their osteoporosis, so it's a huge scope.
Big problem. So if bone loss is a part of aging for everybody, are
Right.
fragile bones just a foregone conclusion? You're just going to have them, or is there something you can do?
Well, at Metro Health, we're trying to promote exercise, actually. Exercise is a great way to keep your bones strong. You need to check with your doctor first, of course, if you haven't exercised, but I encourage all of my patients to do walking and low-impact weight exercises to cause bone remodeling.
Okay, it sounds like exercise is the thing to
Exercise.
solve every kind of medical problem. We
It
have
definitely is.
a lot of doctors on the show, so everybody get up and exercise. Should we also be taking calcium or some other kind of supplement to help build up our bones?
Definitely. I recommend most patients take calcium, 1,200 milligrams at least, and 1,000 international units of vitamin D3. Most of us are not getting enough calcium and vitamin D in our diet, and we're not getting enough sunlight because we're busy people. We also live in Cleveland, so there's not enough sun to keep our vitamin D levels high.
Oh, well, this summer we've had a pretty nice summer.
Everyone
I
get
think.
out there and enjoy the sun.
Yeah, we gotta have our picnic, get out in the sun, get that vitamin D through the sun rather than having to always take it. What if we do have some fragile bones going and maybe some osteoporosis? Is there some kind of treatment that you need like right away? Is there something that you can do to help beef them up even at that point?
So that's our goal with the Metro Health Fragility Fracture Clinic for patients with fragile bones, is that we're trying to screen these patients in simple bone scans and some blood work that we can figure out what's causing the osteoporosis and intervene with some vitamin D replacement or whatnot. And also there's a lot of new medications that are really effective in treating osteoporosis. And so what type of medication depends on the severity of the disease, and we can definitely treat the disease to prevent further bone loss.
Okay, and so before we get to where we have further bone loss and have to have the medications, the exercise, are there any, you said walking before, anything else that's
Walking.
really valuable?
Walking, making sure you get enough calcium and vitamin D in your diet or with replacements, and then doing some weight-bearing exercise really makes a big difference
What's
in bone
weight
health.
bearing? I know that I've been told that as well, and I was like, well, what is weight bearing? Is it my weight enough, or do I have to lift weights? Or
I recommend people use even like 2-pound dumbbells and just do a few bicep curls a day, or even if you want to use cans of soup if you're elderly, whatever's available to you.
so just the arm lifting
Exactly.
stuff. And walking, that's enough body
Walking.
weight to be weight bearing?
Definitely.
Oh, all right, so we can prevent it.
Yep.
If it happens, there's still treatment.
Exactly.
So there's hope. All right, very interesting. Thank you so much. Keeping bones strong and healthy can keep you strong and healthy. So follow Dr. Brady's advice. And for more tips, use the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Dr. Brady for joining us today.
Find out more by clicking to www.metrohealth.org. Or for your free information sheet on preventing bone loss, call Metro Health at 216-778-4131. Next, getting acquainted with the aquarium. It's time to get up and go. An exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to work our shoulder muscles by doing a basic belt press. We're also going to utilize our exercise ball today to help bring our core into play a little bit. Alright, all we're going to want to do is we're going to sit upright on the ball with our legs bent at a 90-degree angle about shoulder width apart to help us maintain that good balance. Keep good posture so that way we can breathe. We're going to start with the dumbbells on our shoulders, and we're simply pressing above the head, touching them above the head, and bringing them right back down to the starting position. All the way up and all the way down. Exhale as you press above your head, and inhale as you bring them back down. 12 to 15 repetitions is a great place for you to start. How you feeling?
I'm still up.
All right. We got it, everybody, and now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
Greater Cleveland Aquarium is stuffed to the gills with salt and freshwater creatures from under the sea. We're not telling a fish tale when we say that visitors find that a trip to this underwater world goes swimmingly. General Manager Tammy Brown is here to school us in the fish and features of this new aquatic adventure. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me on.
So this is a great new thing in Cleveland. And my understanding, and from the pictures we have, this is about as close as you can get to being in the ocean without actually getting wet. So tell us about the layout and why it was designed that way.
Absolutely. So we have 35 tanks, and you can get really close to the fish so that on all sides we have lots of cylinders. We have a walk-through sea tube, so you can get right up, you know, hands and nose
face to face.
Exactly.
All right. And why was it done that way? And
it was done that way, just exactly what you said, so that you felt like you were right there with the fish, so that you didn't have to get certified to dive, but you felt like you were, you know, that close.
And there's something called the sea tube. Tell us about the sea tube.
So the sea tube is a 145-foot walk through the saltwater tank where 18 sharks swim around with all kinds of other sea life as well, and you really get a feeling like you are underwater as you walk through that.
There, huh? So it can seem like you're in the middle of a shark attack.
Yeah. And we do put scuba divers in there as well, so you'll see the scuba divers kind of keeping things clean, but also interacting with the fish and with the guests.
Okay, so it's not just the fish underwater, it's also sometimes the people.
Absolutely.
It's also a touching experience, I understand, to visit the aquarium, so tell us about that.
We have an 11,000-gallon touch tank that lets you touch on one side rays and sharks, and on the other side invertebrates like the horseshoe crab that you see there, and the hermit crab, and what are called slipper lobsters and sea stars, all kinds of really interesting life.
That's crowded all the time, especially with the kids.
Absolutely, it is very crowded. And we actually have Adirondack chairs off to one side because we find that the kids want to stay way longer than the parents. So
good, thinking about the parents too. That's always important.
Yes.
Get them to stay longer. And the fin friends who are in the aquarium aren't the only ones being fed by the scuba divers or by others. Tell us about the cafe, the Nautica Cafe.
Yeah, it's brand new. It opened the very same day that we opened to the public, and it has exactly what you'd want as a family. So it's got hot dogs and pizza and healthy sandwiches and salads. It's a little bit of ice cream. It's a perfect place to stop after your visit.
And tell us about where the aquarium is located and why it's such a great spot.
We are so lucky to be in the First Energy powerhouse. So it's down in the flats. It's originally built in 1893. We kept all of the exposed brick walls and the giant steel girders. And in fact, you can see up inside one of the smokestacks, if you look up, there's a tank above you tucked up in the smokestack.
What's in that tank?
Right now, spiny lobsters, but we're going to switch it out later on this summer. It'll be a surprise.
Oh, all right. And you also mentioned to me, I know kids like to rush through the aquarium. You've got like storytellers throughout the hallways and stuff too.
Yes, absolutely. So you'll meet people ranging from Captain Neo, an old oarboat captain, to a pirate, Captain Sharky, to some world travelers who will give you ideas of all the places they visited and the interesting things they found.
Sounds like a great place.
It is a lot of fun.
So come on in. The water's fine for our fish friends at the Greater Cleveland Aquarium. Don't let this one be the one that got away. Catch more details by using the information that's coming up next. My thanks to Tammy Brown for joining us today.
Thank you.
To learn more, call the Greater Cleveland Aquarium at 216-862-8803 or visit www.greaterclevelandaquarium.com. Next, costly Medicare traps and how to avoid them.
Beautify your home with a new garage door from Genie of Fairview Door. Choose from new styles, colors, and window patterns. Visit online at geniedoor.com.
Set up your world with Genie of Fairview. Genie of Fairview Door. We're Gateway Title, keeping life simple. We can make it simple. We've got everything you need. See how easy selling your home can be. We're Gateway Title. We're keeping life simple.
Did you miss a phone number or website? Then here's your second chance, because we're going to list all of that information again. Then we'll be back to warn you of the pitfalls of postponing Social Security. Was you'd turn 65, retire, get onto Social Security and Medicare. Life was so much simpler then. Today, more and more people are delaying their Social Security past age 65, and that creates traps for Medicare enrollment, which can leave you without any health care coverage for months. Even worse, you could also end up paying penalties on your premiums for the rest of your life. Here to help you avoid Medicare problems is my law partner who puts a premium on providing money-saving strategies, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
Well, welcome, welcome again. With regard to Medicare, I thought it just came automatically when you turn 65.
Well, that's been the norm. If you get your Social Security at age 65, you're automatically enrolled in Parts A and B of Medicare. But a lot of people are delaying getting Social Security. Either they're continuing to work and they don't want to get the Social Security yet, or they're just delaying payments to increase the payment, and that causes a Medicare trap.
Okay, so what are these traps you're talking about? Can you describe them?
For example, if you decide not to get Social Security at age 65, then you need to be proactive and enroll in Medicare Part A and B. If you don't do it, it's not automatic. And then if you don't enroll, then what's going to happen, and you need to do that, by the way, 3 months prior to 65. If you don't do that, then you're not on Medicare Parts A and B, and that can cause a problem. And you won't be covered for a while, and that's trap number one.
Why 3 months before?
That's just the rules. They're not necessarily common sense rules, but you need to do it 3 months before.
But what if I'm still working when I'm 65 and I've got health care coverage from my employer?
Well, there are a lot of complicated rules. Number one, if you're working for an employer with 20 or more employees, automatically enroll at age 65 in Medicare Part A because that's free. But you can delay enrolling in Medicare Part B because that costs money, and you'll be covered by the employer's health insurance. And if your spouse is covered by your insurance, you get that same protection. Then when you leave the job, you have 8 months to enroll in Medicare Part B. And you need to do that, because if you don't do that, Then you're going to have to wait till the next January to get covered by Medicare Part B. And then, more importantly, the premiums go up permanently. That's trap number 2.
Okay, so the rest of your life, you're ending up paying higher premiums than everybody else
That's
did.
right.
Okay.
That's right.
So that's trap number 2. I'm kind of afraid to ask what trap number 3 is.
Okay, well, there's the same situation. You're working for an employer. Maybe they have health insurance, but they're a smaller company. They have fewer than 20 employees. There, you need to make sure that you enroll both in Part A and Part B. Because if you don't enroll in Part B by the time you're age 65, the employer's health insurance doesn't cover you for anything that Medicare would have covered you for. So you'd be without insurance. You could end up paying thousands of dollars of extra medical expenses because you're not covered by Medicare and you're not covered by the health insurance. So you need to be very careful if you're working for a smaller employer. Make sure you enroll by age 65.
Okay, that sounds like a really good tip. But if I'm working with a larger employer with more than 20 employees, and you said I should enroll in Part A, shouldn't I just to make sure enroll in Part B also, just to make sure that everything's covered, I don't forget about doing it later on?
No, again, remember, Part B costs money. And you're already going to get the benefits through the employer's health insurance, so you're not going to get any additional benefits, and you're spending more money. So don't enroll in Part B and pay money for no good reason.
Okay, so good tips to remember. It depends on where you're working, if you're still working.
Yeah, so do all this planning much in advance. Don't wait to 3 months either right before age 65. Think about all these issues long before.
Okay, sounds like good information. Medicare provides very important health care coverage, but these benefits are not automatic. To avoid these traps, follow Mike's advice and keep watching Golden Opportunities to keep up to date on the best tips and protections.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. Remember, we'll be off the next 3 weeks so that you can enjoy the Summer Olympics. But no matter who takes home the most gold, we'll be back with our Olympic-worthy lineup on Sunday, August 19th at 11:30 with a workout to get your brain in the game. But until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.